Broadcasting live across the southern plains from the tornado bunker in the McRoof World Headquarters, the McRoof Radio Network brings you home repair McRoof style. I'm Rick Allen Lippert, here with restoration specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCullum.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning to you. Retro Radio Randy is back. Yay!
Thank God.
Southern Plains.
Thank God.
He's the wizard on the other side of the curtain who will answer your call to 405-656-5868. Act 1 of the show will start with our trivia question and the tool of the week, which is posted on the Home Repair McRoof Style Facebook page. Hey, why don't you like us while you're there?
Let me count the ways.
And as always, we're taking your home repair questions. That number again is 405-656-5868. McRoof.us meteorologist Dion Markham is here again with our Southern Plains weather this week.
Yes, good morning.
In Act 2 of the show, we'll have our What Were They Thinking segment. Scott, the title of this week's horror story?
You've been down that path before, Myrtle. Do what you've done and get what you've got.
It kind of seems like that might tie in with our dad's wisdom this
It
week.
kind of does.
Then in Act 3, we'll have our After the Storm tip and wrap up with some very wise words from Scott's dad. And because it's Father's Day, we're giving you folks a twofer. And then coming back from breaks, we'll have some very obscure historical trivia and a special tribute to a special person today. The McRoof Radio Network includes KOKC in Oklahoma City, KNSS in Wichita, and KALV in Alva. You can also hear us on the iHeart Radio and Odyssey apps, and we're live streaming the show on the Home Repair McRoof Style YouTube channel. You can subscribe to us there when you go to watch. Wherever you are, you can call 405-656-5868. And I have to tell you that S&CM LLC, DBA McRoof.us, legally operates under Kansas registration number 22-008-700 and Oklahoma registration number 8000002. Registrations apply to residential and commercial roofing in both states.
There you have it.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So happy Father's Day weekend to you.
Thank you very much.
Any special plans?
Well, I'll leave that up to the other folks.
Yeah.
They're responsible for that.
Yeah. I just kind of hope that I hear from both of my children tomorrow.
Yeah, well, yeah, me too.
Okay, so let's get started with our tool of the week. No, our trivia question. Then we'll do the tool of the
say,
week.
you change the order of
I
the
don't
show.
know.
I mean, that's fine. But.
Cuckoo.
Okay, so the trivia question is this. So synthetic slate shingles are nothing new, contrary to popular belief. In fact, they've been made in Europe they were made in Europe as early as. Tell me when synthetic slate shingles first were manufactured in Europe.
We're looking for a date, a year.
Yeah, and if you get it in within a few years or whatever, I'm not necessarily looking for an exact year. It could be a time period.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
I can't wait to hear more about synthetic slate shingles from this time period.
Well, I will tell you that synthetic slate shingles were manufactured a long time ago, and in this country, a long time ago as well, not as long, of course, as they were in Europe. The problem with the original versions of synthetic slates, as with a lot of other synthetic things, is they contained that nasty old asbestos.
Right.
And that's the reason that everything kind of had to go away, be reformulated in different ways, organic fillers, things like that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, I lived in a shack one time that had asbestos tiles.
Well, I'll tell you,
the outside.
As a lot of people know, those shingles with asbestos in them, siding with asbestos in it,
right,
lasted forever, almost indestructible.
Right,
so,
right. And it was inexpensive.
Yeah.
And indestructible, as you say.
It's not inexpensive to abate.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Okay, so you sent me a website from Bob Vila.
Okay.
And you folks out there will remember Bob Vila as the original host of PBS's This Old House. He has his own website, and he does a lot of stuff about home repair, DIY stuff. And he had a list of, I don't know, 10 or 15 Father's Day gift ideas.
The 20 best tool gifts for Dad this Father's Day from Bob Vila.
And you suggested that I pick one
I
to
did.
make our tool of the week, and I did.
Okay.
I chose the Irwin brand Vice Grip wire stripping tool/wire cutter.
Oh my gosh, that's a mouthful.
Well, and I chose it for a couple of reasons. One, it's only about $14 on Amazon, currently on sale. But more importantly, I'm going to get one of these because I need one to put in my tiny RV.
Okay.
I was swapping out a CO2 detector here a few weeks ago, and I realized I didn't have a wire stripper or wire cutter in my toolbox, my toolkit.
I'll tell you, making do with something else, a knife
that's what I did.
or a wire cutter or
Right.
something like that, making do with that on a wire that's a pretty decent size, you can make it work.
Right.
But when you start talking about some of these little tiny lines that are like a thread,
Right.
and you're trying to use something other than a stripper,
Yeah.
we know where that's going to end up.
I will tell you, I was very grateful of one of the few things my dad actually taught me regarding this kind of stuff was how to strip a wire with a pocket knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a wire cutter when you don't have a wire stripper. And so I was able to just gently, notch that wire around
There you
until I
go.
could finally pull it off without cutting any of those fine little copper fibers and pulling the whole thing out. Anyway, so the Irwin brand, which I thought Irwin brand was maybe a big box store house brand,
No.
the blue store, but so I'm going to go get one of those.
All right. Well, for $14, I think that's probably of all the tools on here, and we can talk about some of these. But
Yeah, we will
it's
as the show goes
probably
on.
not the one I would have picked as the tool of the week, but you've got a use for it, so
I have
that's
a use
great,
for it.
It's a great tool. There you
Well,
go.
the first one on there I almost chose, but it was a little pricey, and not the kind of thing someone could run out today and get to hand to a father tomorrow.
Well, and I was looking at that. You're talking about the backpack.
The backpack, yeah.
And I was looking at that, and I was trying to just think about the practicalities of that.
Right.
So anyway, we can talk about it.
We'll get to that probably in the second act of the show.
If we don't have
today.
enough calls, we will.
Yeah. But it's about time that we get an update on the weather.
This is McRoof.us staff meteorologist Dion Markham bringing you Southern Plains weather this week. It will be a scorcher, as highs are going to be near 100 for most of the Southern Plains with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies with no rain in sight. Summer officially starts on Tuesday.
And Dion's vacation starts now, too, because we won't need him for a while.
Have a great week, Southern Plains, and stay safe.
Thank you, Dion. I was thinking, he's going to sound like a broken record again. He's going to be a bit on the warm side, but
Right.
he changed it up on me. Good job, Dion.
Yes.
Good job.
Well, when I looked and saw the forecast for the week ahead, I thought, man, it's more than just a bit on the warm side.
I tell you what, it makes me real happy when you've got the grass that I've got at my place, and I don't pay the city for water.
right.
So yeah.
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 The weather this week just sort of reminds me of that boisterous friend that you really hate to see show up that just throws open the door and says, "I'm here, let's party."
Yeah, there you go. Well,
When you're trying to-
we knew that summer was going to say that one of these days.
Yeah,
and
and here it is.
I tell you what, the guys were just kind of sucking wind this last week. It was really hard on them. Give them a couple more weeks, they'll be used to it and ready
Right.
to roll for the summertime. So.
The Saharan dust is what is just really messing with my eyes.
Oh, I tell you what, I was made a little jaunt to Kansas
Right.
last week.
Yeah.
And I guess in some areas they're harvesting wheat.
Yes, it is wheat harvest time.
And you talk about just a cloud.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, as far as the eye could see on either side of I-35, I mean, just a cloud
Right.
hanging there. So anyway.
Our our trivia question is still out there.
He's the tool.
I'm the tool. Contrary to popular belief, synthetic slate shingles are nothing new. They were used in Europe as early as when? And a bonus, if you can tell us when they were used in the U.S.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Our number, 405-656-5868. Okay, so you say you went to Kansas this week. Anything positive to report?
Well, just doing inspections, and
Yeah.
A lot of folks who have previously been denied, and who are kind of learning some of the things that we've talked about here in the Oklahoma City metro market for a number of years now. About that sometimes that happens when you don't have anyone there to be able to get on that roof with the adjuster.
Right.
And as is often the case, the adjuster comes down and says, you don't really have any damage, or you don't need a new roof, or everything's fine, or whatever. And people tend to just take that at
Right.
face value and move on.
Right.
And so we've had some calls from some people who wanted some help this time around.
Okay.
And I've been up there and been on a number of these roofs and determined that, in fact, they are absolutely totaled.
Okay.
And that we will absolutely not be taking no from
Okay.
from anyone who might offer a different opinion.
Good
So,
dang deal.
and these folks are really, really glad that they found somebody to be able to do this with them, and got our first few claims filed last week.
Good.
And a couple of those appointments are already set, and we'll be going up there and doing what we do.
All
So
right.
anyway, so we'll see what happens. So
All
you know,
right.
it is very different to me. The Oklahoma City market, when there's a little hailstorm, okay, in a little pocket of town, doesn't really matter where it is.
Right.
Seems to me like every roofer on the face of the planet finds their way into that little
Descends.
neighborhood or zip code or
Right.
block or whatever. And there are roofing trucks, and there are salespeople canvassing and walking the neighborhoods up and down the streets and knocking on doors and leaving flyers and all that. I haven't seen that in Wichita.
How about that?
It's kind of, in fact, an area that I was in last week that was impacted back in April. There were no signs
Really?
in the neighborhood. And I mean, this roof is obliterated. There were no signs in the neighborhood. And I asked the lady, I said, have most of your neighbors already gotten a new roof? She says, no, nobody's gotten a new roof. So anyway, interesting to me. So,
Wow. It'll be interesting to see if there's a domino effect, a
yeah,
ripple
we'll
effect.
see. Well,
Once your sign goes up in the yard.
You know, obviously, when I'm standing on her roof and I'm looking over at the roof on either side of her and the roof across the backyard
Right.
From her, and I mean, I literally can see damage on those
Sure.
roofs. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But you know, my suspicion is that they just have a little bit different approach than what we're used to seeing here.
And with that, we'll take our first break. We'll be back with Act 2 of Home Repair McRoof Style on the McRoof Radio Network. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. He's Restoration Specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCullum. We're still waiting on your call for the trivia question. Synthetic slate shingles, when were they first used? A lot earlier than you might think. We'll be right back. This is the McRoof Radio Network.
Boy, I don't know about you folks, but I walked out the door a couple of mornings this week and realized that I hadn't taken my allergy pill. And then that little trip up to Kansas, that cloud of dust I was telling you about, I could feel it for a day or two after I got back. Folks, Brad's Heat and Air has been serving the greater metro for almost 40 years. You know they install and service all brands of heating and air conditioning equipment, but you may not have known that they also install April Air Central Air Cleaners as part of your home's central HVAC system. If you're tired of seeing the dust all over the house minutes after you finish cleaning, or your wife is tired of seeing the dust all over the house after she finishes cleaning, you've got pet dander, you've got pollen that's just killing your allergies. If that's your case, call Brad. Talk to him about the April Air system. You'll have a healthier home environment with less dander, less smoke, less pollen, less mold, less dust. In other words, you'll breathe easier. Call Brad's Heat and Air at 405-799-7823 or visit online at bradsheatandair.com. Tell them McRoof sent you.
Hey, Scott, I have folks tell me all the time that they can't find anybody out there to inspect their roof or to just fix a leak. You started Roof RX to remedy that issue, didn't you?
Well, I did. Roofers are in the business to replace roofs. They're not in the business to inspect, repair, or maintain them.
So what's so different about Roof RX then?
Well, Roof RX is a standalone company totally separate from McRoof. The inspectors are trained professionals armed with knowledge and technology. They are not roofing salespeople. Our repairs are guaranteed for life, and we offer a money-back guarantee.
Wow, that sounds great, but I'll bet you're booked up for months out.
No, sir, we're generally no more than a week or so out, and of course we get on emergencies a whole lot faster than that. Get on our list by calling Carly at 405-877-ROOF or online at roof-rx.com. Hey, Rick, this is something that Roof RX is really proud of. This is our presentation of a Daylight Doctor.
Daylight Doctor.
Daylight Doctor. The Daylight Doctor's prescription for your dark home.
Ooh.
Okay, our Solitude daylighting systems bring pure natural light to brighten even the darkest spaces and for a fraction of the cost of a traditional skylight. We can install your Solitude daylighting system in about 2 hours. That's right. We can prescribe and cure your home in about 2 hours. The Daylight Doctor can remedy your dark kitchen, those bathrooms or hallways. Take advantage of the 26% solar tax credit and save today. Visit OKCSkylights.com or call 405-977-5483 to schedule your free house call. House call. Again.
From a doctor.
From a doctor. Visit OKCSkylights.com or call 405-977-5483 and get the prescription and cure today.
Homer Stacy was a wholesome, good American kid from Texas. At the age of 18, he enlisted in the United States Army and was stationed at Fort Bliss, Texas. Homer was fascinated with aircraft, so he went to flight school and became an Army Air Corps pilot. Homer Stacy was the pilot of a Convair B-24 Liberator, the Yankee Doodle Dandy. November 11, 1943, Homer and his crew, along with 31 other bombers, flew a mission to destroy a ball bearing plant in occupied France. On the return trip, a mechanical failure caused the plane to drop out of formation, leaving the Yankee Doodle Dandy vulnerable, and shortly thereafter, 7 German Me-109 shot the plane down near Andano, Italy. 4 crew members were killed on board. The others parachuted. 1 was captured and taken prisoner. Homer was among the remaining 5 who made it to Switzerland and returned to duty. Homer Stacy survived World War II, the Korean War, and retired after 21 years of service with numerous awards and citations, not to mention the Purple Heart. Homer Stacy. Homer Stacy McCullum. Scott McCullum's dad. Scott McCullum is McRoof. McRoof is owned and operated by the McCullum family, an honorable, trustworthy red, white, and blue family. If you want to improve or repair your property, call 855-766-3405. Ask for a no-cost roof assessment and home inspection. That's McRoof, 855-766-3405. That's McRoof.
And Home Repair McRoof Style, back on the air for Act 2 of today's program. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. We're live in studio taking your calls with restoration specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCullum. Our number, 405-656-5868. Our trivia question still out there, synthetic shingles. Nothing new. We think they're new, but contrary to popular belief, they've been used in Europe as early as when? And it's longer ago than you might think. Let's see, in our tool of the week, well, we've done that. On this date in 1812, the War of 1812 began when the U.S. declared it against Britain. I think that was over conscription. Britain was forcing our boys into service in the British Navy, and we said, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna let you do that. On this date in 1873, Susan B. Anthony was fined $100. Now, 1873, that's about
a lot of money.
That's about $2,200 today, and she was fined for voting for U.S. president in Rochester, New York. She never paid it, and they never forced her to pay it. They just let it drop.
They put her on a stamp.
Yeah,
and on
they
a
did.
coin or whatever.
And then on this date in 1892, hey, Scott, do you like macadamia nuts?
Yeah, I do.
And you think of Hawaii when you think of macadamia nuts.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah.
Well, on this date in 1892, brothers Edward and Robert Jordan planted the first macadamia nuts in Oahu, Hawaii.
Really?
Yep. Hey, we have a caller on the line. Let's talk to... Hello, Chip.
Chip. Yes, sir.
You're
How
calling...
are ya?
Where are you calling from, Chip?
Kingman, Kansas.
All right.
All right, so when do you think synthetic shingles were first used in Europe?
1840s is the best I could come up with.
You know what? You're close enough, Chip. We're going to give it to you. It was
Yay!
because actually the information I was looking at says around 1850. So
Okay.
I'm going to say that 1840s has got to be close enough for that to be the right
Close
answer.
enough.
So, yeah, and
All right.
they were manufacturing synthetic slate shingles. And they, of course, were a cement type with asbestos filler. Okay. And
Love that asbestos.
love that asbestos. And then we began manufacturing shingles similar to that in the United States in the early 1900s.
Okay.
And used those for about 40 years until all of the information about asbestos and all that kind of thing started coming
Okay.
out, and then they had to go back and retool. So absolutely, Chip. Absolutely. Have you got a question for us? Something that you're bumfuzzled about around the house?
You know, the biggest thing around my house would be how long can you expect a manufactured roof, or they call them the tar shingles?
Uh-huh.
How long do they usually last, and what do you look for before you need to replace it? That's the big one for me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you that an asphalt shingle, there's a lot of different information I can give you. I've seen asphalt shingles in our climate that have been on roofs for as much as 30 years. I will tell you that on average, an asphalt shingle roof in the hail belt is going to get replaced in about 8 or 9 years. That's going to be a combination of the effects of the wind and the hail. I will tell you that the biggest reason that roofs actually age prematurely and don't last as long as they really should is because they're improperly ventilated. Ventilation is just critical for the life of an asphalt shingle. If you can keep that shingle soft instead of letting it get hard and brittle and dried out, then it's going to weather the storms a whole lot better. Let me ask you this: is your shingle, is it flat? Is it what we would call a strip shingle? Or is it dimensional, where it has some depth and some multiple layers to it?
It looks flat. They look flat.
Okay. Well, most modular or manufactured housing uses a 3-tab or a strip shingle. Unfortunately, most of those are installed, at least originally, with staples instead of with nails. So there's a few things that you want to be aware of. Number one, you want to be aware of how well that shingle has sealed, and you can literally get up on the roof. Your roof's not going to be steep, right? It's going to be real shallow. So you.
No, it's pretty steep.
Oh, it is steep? Okay, well, maybe you want to do this. Maybe you want to do this from a ladder from the edge of the roof, but you can actually check and see how well those tabs are sealed down. You could take your fingers and lift a little bit on each tabs, and if they're sealed down real well, then that's a good sign. If they're not sealed down, then you're going to have to do some sealing and stuff on those. But look for what looks like a big bruise. That is fresh hail on your roof, okay? And then old hail is going to be real gray. It's going to be a hole, and it will actually have eaten through the layers of the asphalt, and you'll expose the bottom layer of the shingle, the organic matter. So.
Got it.
Okay.
Well, that was good information. Thank you very much.
All right. Well,
Thank you, Chip.
Take a look and stay on the line and give Retro Radio Randy some information. We'll send you a book.
Chip, I'm going to send you back to Randy
Thanks,
so he
guys.
can get your information.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye. All right, and there he goes. So, Scott, what else was in your...
Wait a minute. I want to correct one thing.
Okay.
It's the scrim that will be exposed, okay? It's the bottom layer to which
Right.
the asphalt is applied.
Right.
The UV, once that hail hits the UV and knocks the granular off,
Right.
the UV will start eating the asphalt and it will expose the scrim. I said organic. We haven't used organic shingles in this country in a long time.
Okay.
So it's not organic material, okay?
All
Just
right.
wanted to clarify that.
So, what else was in your week? It was hot. You went to Wichita. What else did you do?
Oh, man, we had, of course, catching up from the storms. So
Right.
we're still catching up on all the repairs and things like that. We're not caught up. And I should probably apologize to folks who call Roof RX and we talk about how quickly we'll get out and all
Right.
that kind of thing. We're working our way through a couple of month backlog at this
Oh, my.
point in time
Okay.
where we wouldn't have been able to have gotten on roofs on a consistent basis. Well, now we can, so we'll get these knocked out real quickly. Some of the things that we had to do an emergency or a temporary repair, now we'll fall
Right.
back and do the permanent repair that we had intended to do. The masons are really far behind. Anything that involved a mason as far as a stone or brick
Right.
chimney, fireplace structure, anything like that, masons are, probably 2 months out.
Wow.
To get around to getting those things done. So our goal would be to get all those chimneys, the crowns, caps, all the mortar repointing and all that, get all those done before winter time
Right.
at this point.
Right.
So, okay. So, had some more OSHA follow-up with the guys. Little bit of testing going on. We've still got folks here in the office that are taking certain credential courses and things like that. So a lot of that. And Scotty's been on a bunch of commercial roofs. I went
good.
down to actually a combination of kind of OSHA and commercial. We went down to, he had an inspection on a Holiday Inn.
Okay.
And this is a multi-story
Right.
building. And the manager kind of laughed at us because the other guys that came out, they just put their ladder up on the one-story roof and then pull their ladder up and put it up on the 4-story roof from the 1-story roof. And we were talking about OSHA, we're talking about OSHA safety and things like that. So we've got our OSHA approved, 40-foot ladder out there.
Okay.
And we've got that ladder, anchored down on the ground. We've got that ladder at its proper angle up against the roof.
Right.
Scotty's going up on the roof with his, onto the ladder up to the top with his tie-down ropes to be able to tie his ladder down.
Right.
So that the ladder can't move with him on it, all that kind of thing. We were really, really concerned. Because it's really funny, there were some guys in bucket trucks out working on the power lines right in front of the hotel. And we're thinking, well, that would be a real logical place for an OSHA inspector to drive by and take a look, make sure everybody's doing everything the right way. And here we are with this 40-foot ladder over here. So we did everything the right way.
Okay. All right. And it's time now, boys and girls, for us to get scary. This is the horror story portion of the show, a little segment we call the title of this week's horror story. You've been down that path before, Myrtle. Do what you've done and get what you've got.
We said that this is going to relate to Dad's wisdom.
Yes.
It also relates to that old adage of you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink.
Right.
Okay. And unfortunately, we run into this a lot. We run into situations where someone has been down the path, in this case, Myrtle, that she should never have gone down in the first place.
Okay.
And she's paying the price of the decision that was originally made. But now that the price of actually going back and fixing what has already been done to get it to a point where you can go and do what you should have done in the first place is multiples of what it would have cost originally, okay? And she's sitting here going, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with these other guys. The same guys who created the problem that is the reason that you called us to come out in the first place. In this particular case, this is a roof that has been coated. Okay. This is a roof that has foam insulation sprayed on the roof and then has an acrylic coating on top of it. Okay.
This is on the top side.
Yeah, that's correct. This is on the top of the roof. This is a coating system.
Okay.
Well, the people didn't properly prepare the old roof. They didn't remove all of the wet from the old roof before they put the coating on.
Yeah.
They didn't take care of all the things that needed to be repaired before they started spraying insulation. Okay.
Right.
Then they rushed it and they installed their finish coat, their coating. They put their coating on too quickly.
Okay.
So their coating didn't really adhere and bond the way that it was supposed to. And she's been dealing with her coating bubbling up for about the last 10 years. And at this point now, there's almost no coating left on this roof. Okay.
And she wants another just layer of coating on it.
That's what she wants. Yeah. We gave her a price. We gave her the price to go in and basically scour this roof. We completely remove the coating. We literally grind down some depth of the insulation that's there now to where we can get a new surface that we can start with.
Sure.
We go back in with our moisture cameras, determine the areas that have the latent moisture still buried in a roof. We cut those completely out and repair everything and build the deck back up, and then spray additional insulation on top of it and a brand new coating system. Okay. Now this coating system would be a system that would give her a 15, 20-year manufacturer's warranty on the entire system. Okay. But no, she wants to just get somebody out there that'll go out there and just spray another layer of acrylic on it. I think the price is about 18 or 19% of what we quoted her to do the job right. But that's the way Myrtle's going to go. And because she's my aunt and I love her, I just want her to get what she deserves. And she's going to get exactly what she deserves this time around, just like she did last time. So anyway, do what you've done and get what you've got. So I don't know how people think that making one mistake twice is going to get them someplace better off than where they started. I can't figure that out.
Well, and we'll hear the kind of the rest of the story, the moral of the story at the Dad's Wisdom. Hey, Alan, I want to let you know we have to go to break right now, but we'll get to you as soon as we come back into Act 3. This is Home Repair McRoof Style on the McRoof Radio Network. We're coming to you live today from the studio. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. We're live in studio with restoration specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCullum. Our trivia question has been answered thanks to Chip. Alan is waiting on the line to give us a call. We'll be back in just a few minutes. This is the McRoof Radio Network.
Honoring America's Warriors is an Oklahoma City-based nonprofit that provides military honors and ceremonies, service dogs for disabled veterans, and multiple activities and events for the veteran and their family. When Honoring America's Warriors was established, our first sponsor and supporter was McRoof. Now, years later, McRoof and the McCullum family continue to provide financial support to Honoring America's Warriors' important programs. To learn more about our mission, go to honoringamericaswarriors.org. Go to honoringamericaswarriors.org today.
Rick, once again, the Roof RX Company is proud to present the Daylight Doctor.
Daylight Doctor.
Daylight Doctors, the prescription for your dark home. Our Solitude daylighting systems bring pure natural light to brighten even the darkest spaces and for a fraction of the cost of a traditional skylight. We can install your Solitude daylighting systems in about 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours. We can prescribe and cure your dark home in 2 hours.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is. The Daylight Doctor can remedy your dark kitchen, bathrooms, hallways, and you can take advantage of the 26% solar tax credit. Ask us how today. Visit OKCSkylights.com or call 405-977-5483 to schedule your free house call.
Wow.
Get the doctor in your house. Again, visit OKCSkylights.com or call 405-977-5483. Get the prescription and the cure today.
I'm Dustin Holtz, and I am McRoof. We're looking for the best talent in the roofing and restoration industries to join our team of solutions specialists. Hear what our customers have to say. Here's Johnny.
They were such pleasant young men, set my mind at ease. So thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
Now here's John.
My hat's off to McRoof for making that happen when nobody else would touch it. You really made a difference in our lives.
And then Dean.
You really know your roofing business and you do quality work. But what sets you apart from other roofers is the people. You treated us just like family.
Want to sell shingles? Go work for another roofer. Want to change people's lives by providing quality solutions? Come join our team. Email me at dustin.holt@mcroof.us. dustin.holt@mcroof.us.
I'm Scotty McCollum, and I am McRoof. The qualities that every McRoof team member possesses are attention to detail, integrity, and a commitment to be an expert in our field. The goal of every McRoof project is to restore a home or business to the fullest extent, and in the process, we try to create a relationship as well as lasting peace of mind. We're not happy if you're not happy.
Replacement done right. McRoof.us, 855-766-3405. And Home Repair McRoof Style back on the air for Act 3 of today's show. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. We're live in studio with restoration specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCullum. We are taking your calls to 405-656-5868. Alan, we'll get to you in just a moment, but I have to tell you all first that on this date in 1967, this was the closing day of the Monterey International Pop Festival. This was sort of the first pop festival, rock festival of the 60s. It was held in Southern California. It was the first appearance of such acts as Janis Joplin and Otis Redding, the first time Americans ever saw a guy named Jimi Hendrix in a band called The Who. Now, Hendrix and The Who were offered up as the replacement because the promoter wanted the Beatles, but a fella said, no, we're not going to do it, but I recommend Jimmy and The Who, and it just so happens that that guy who recommended Jimmy and The Who was Paul McCartney, who is celebrating his 80th birthday today. Sir Paul turns 80. Wow. Hard to believe. But then again, I'm about to turn 70, so it's also It's also the 46th birthday of Oklahoman Blake Shelton.
Wow, I didn't know he was just a pup.
Yeah, he is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so that out of the way, now let's go to Alan. Alan, thank you so much for waiting. You're on the air,
Hello?
Alan. Hello.
Okay, it's always a pleasure to listen to you guys. And by the way, thanks for the books. All right.
Oh, you're welcome,
I got
Alan.
them both. All right. So
Okay, good deal.
I appreciate it.
You bet.
I was been gone for a couple weeks and went up north and came back. I just a little information for a homeowner. Is the cottonwood over yet?
Oh, the cottonwood pollen.
Is it over with yet?
Right. Is that over?
I think so.
Yeah, pretty
Because
much. Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I just want just a little information to an average homeowner
Uh-huh.
that they need to get out there with a hose and don't hose it into the air conditioner, but hose it down to clean that cottonwood off their condensers because we're coming into some serious heat.
Yeah.
All right. I just got done cleaning off my condenser, and bristle condensers are a little more involved. But if you got thin type condensers, if you just take the hose and hose it down and just take it down to the bottom and get rid of it, it's going to increase your lifespan of your air conditioner. It's going to increase your air conditioning and everything else. So,
Great advice.
It
Should've put a
really
lot
is.
less-
It really is. Great time for that,
it's gonna
Alan.
it's going to put a lot less stress on your compressor and give you some longevity.
Yep.
So,
Sure
Yeah,
will.
I do have a caution for folks. You heard Alan say take your garden
okay.
hose, okay? Take your garden hose to do this.
turn it off.
You do not use a high pressure nozzle,
Right.
okay?
Oh, no.
Do not use a
Absolutely not.
high pressure nozzle to wash off your condensing unit,
No.
okay? Just
You can use the jet spray off of your garden hose, all right? As long as you keep it in a downward motion and you watch everything just fall off of the front of the fence, all right? You don't want to push it in. You want to put it on the top side and just watch it drop down,
Right.
all right?
Right.
So, but, yeah, you don't want to use a high-pressure hose. Absolutely not, so. But just a little information. Somebody who's got, somewhat type of skills and stuff, they can handle that. The other homeowners who don't have a clue, well, you better call somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Call Brad and let them come out there and take
That's
care of
right.
it for you. But where'd you go up north, Alan?
Chicago.
Chicago, okay.
I'm originally from Chicago, yeah. So I was up there for a week. Then we had a family reunion in Branson, and I'm home.
Okay.
So
All right.
I had a great time.
Well, thanks for
Awesome.
listening.
Glad
And
you're back safely.
I finally sold my house up north. All right. So I'm gonna have to see about
All right.
All
Good
right, my
dang
friend.
deal.
Take care.
All right.
Thanks for calling, Alan. Have a
And,
good
uh,
week.
All right.
I'm glad to listen to you.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. You guys have a great day. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you too.
God bless you.
Okay, so let's get to some of these Bob Vila's gift ideas.
Oh.
We talked about the backpack. I want to talk about it a little bit more. If I did more, I'm looking at it online
okay.
right here. If I did more work around the house, I might have something like this. I've seen folks down at the Carpenter Square Theater warehouse that we're renovating. Electricians and stuff have backpacks. I've never seen one with a light on it though. This one has a light on it.
So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, so you got a backpack. It's got a light that looks like it's on the very back of the backpack.
Right.
So obviously that's removable.
Probably. It looks like it kind of
Yeah,
is.
it'd be removable so
Yeah.
you can look in your bag and
Yeah.
see what all's in there and all that
But
kind
it has
of thing.
lots
So-
of pouches, and that's what I like about this thing.
Yeah, 48 interior and 9 exterior pouches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hide a lot of tools that you'll never find in there.
Yeah, I think that thing was pretty pricey though, wasn't it?
A couple of hundred. No, it was $109 on Amazon.
$109. Okay.
You know,
Nice.
and considering what what tool boxes, tool pouches cost these days, and of
Well-
course they have a Leatherman, the laser distance.
Oh, the Leatherman. I mean, that's kind of a can't miss.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I mean, anybody that's ever really stuck, and even if somebody's already got one, then they've got a boat, or they've got a
Right.
truck, or they've got a shop, or
Yeah.
they've got something. So
Sure.
you can never go wrong
An
with a
extra one.
Leatherman. So, did you see these Leatherman gloves on here, though?
I did. I was lusting after those
See, now
Leatherman
that,
gloves.
yeah, the custom Leathercraft Handyman Flex Grip work gloves for $18.28. I mean, that looked pretty cool to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
The other thing, and again, I don't do enough of this kind of work, but the Framers, the DeWalt Framers Combo Apron. So it's like the waistband, it's the tool belt.
It's got the
shoulder
straps.
The shoulder
yeah,
straps.
yeah.
That really attracted
Well,
me.
and that is that's a professional, okay?
Right.
I mean, somebody who's just working around the house doing little do-it-yourself thing isn't going to have enough tools in there that you need the support. But
Right.
I mean, if you're a carpenter, if you're a professional out there on a job, and you've got hammers, and maybe you've got your ratchet or your drills or whatever, and
Exactly.
you've got your speed square, and you've got all this stuff in here, that support on your shoulders is really, really nice.
Right.
I know I used to always be tugging at my belt.
Exactly.
When all I had was the belt. If I'd had that suspender type thing, that would have been a lot better.
Exactly,
So, That's
yeah.
pretty cool. Love the Dremel stuff. I mean, that stuff's, what else do we have in here?
Well, a couple of things. A Greenworks brushless cordless blower vacuum is pretty cool. Like a leaf blower, but it's also a vacuum. If you stick the nozzle in the underside of it, then it becomes a little vacuum. A little cordless, handheld job. That thing was only on just under $250. That was a bit much, but a watering wand, just for watering plants. Now this thing was almost $30, which seems kind of steep for a watering wand, but if you don't replace it every year, I mean, I went through a number of years where I was having to replace a watering wand every year, and there we go. Hey, we have Ben on the line again.
Hold on just a minute. Let Ben wait just a minute.
Hang on, Ben.
How much was that Cuisinart
Sure.
grill set?
The Cuisinart what?
The grill set, the deluxe grill set.
Oh, down-
$70. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
$70.
not bad.
Yeah, the grill set had spatula and tongs and
20 different tools.
Yeah, that was
20 different grilling tools.
Yeah, for the outdoor grill. Okay, Ben, what's your tip?
Hi. Well, I've got a couple of them now after hearing your conversation, but to follow up on Alan's advice,
Yes, sir.
I service my condenser every spring prior to mowing season, and I wrap with magnets. They're about domino-sized ceramic magnets to hold it in place, and I use the fiberglass filter material for hammock-style HVAC filters. And it catches all that cottonwood lint, so you don't have to wash your coils out, and you don't have to. And when it clogs up, you just change it out, and you can get through the entire season usually with just one use.
So
But,
you
if
basically
you have
build
a
your own. You
heavy
build your own
infestation
filter.
of it, then you might have to change it aside. You buy it in rolls at the hardware store.
But you basically build your own exterior filter on your condensing unit.
A low restriction, obviously, since it is
Yeah,
fiberglass.
absolutely.
So you get the proper air draw
Yeah.
for the condenser fan to work properly. That was my main tip.
That's
and then
pretty cool.
Then you only have to wash once. And I use a non-acidic coil cleaner, and I rinse out gently with my multi-spray pattern nozzle.
Yeah, cool.
And I adjust the water volume accordingly so I don't bend fins.
Right. Great advice.
Okay, that was my main one.
All right.
In regards to the Leatherman tool,
Uh-huh.
I have one for each vehicle.
That's what I was. That's kind of.
Along with a 6-in-1 screwdriver. You get two threaded bits, two slotted bits,
Yeah.
plus 3 different hex sizes.
I'm not surprised.
5/16 and quarter.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Is you can't go wrong with a Leatherman. That is a every man's tool, and multiple places that they can have one of those. So that's good.
I think
Yeah, and I kind of forgot what my last one was going to be because of conversation. I lost my train.
Your train jumped the track. Yeah. Train jumped the track. Yeah, I understand that.
In closing, I know we're running out of time. Happy Father's Day to you guys
Thank you,
and
Ben,
all
and
of
to
our
you.
listeners, and to all of our men and women who go in. Them too, but primarily our dads that are serving in harm's way locally, statewide, nationally, and internationally.
Okay.
All right, Ben.
Especially new dads.
Yeah.
Yes, especially the new dads.
All right, buddy.
All right, thank
we
you, Ben.
appreciate you. Have a great
Thank
week.
you for the time as always, guys.
You
Appreciate
bet.
it.
All right, bye-bye. I kind of look at corkscrews as Ben looks at Leatherman.
Really?
I want a
You have one
corkscrew
in
in
every drawer.
Wherever I am, I want to make sure.
That's hilarious.
When the time comes, it's wine o'clock.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about you, Rick.
In fact, one year for Christmas, my company gave out corkscrews with my company name engraved on them.
Oh my! Well, real quickly, because we got just a few seconds.
Sure,
here.
yeah.
What's going on downtown?
Oh gosh, we're coming to a close. We're putting seat numbers on all of the seats.
So do we actually see
OG&E
a
got our
date
meter in.
engraved
We
in-
have a meter in now, so we have power to the whole building. Oh my goodness, that is huge.
Do we see a opening night date yet?
Not yet. Later this summer, but it will be later this summer. It won't.
Okay.
We won't be into fall as soon,
Okay.
as long as it's technically summer. We may be pushing the tail end of
Okay,
it,
but you're getting there.
we're getting there.
All
We're
right.
getting closer every day. There's progress being made every day.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right, so there was one other tool in this Bob Vila.
Which one?
The Craftsman Mechanics tool set.
Okay.
The red blow-molded plastic case with all of these
There it is.
sockets and wrenches and screwdriver. There's a screwdriver with all the various heads that you can go to it, and some extensions for your various.
Yeah, it doesn't say how many tools are there, or I'm missing it.
135.
Oh, wow, okay.
135 pieces.
All right.
But the thing is, it's $145. My son-in-law has this. I've seen this at his house, as a matter of fact, and it's pretty handy.
Yeah,
So
good deal.
Anyway, and this is at the blue big box.
Oh,
store.
it is? Okay.
It's exclusive to them. I think they have the deal with Craftsman.
I saw a lot of yard, the tree trimmers, the chainsaws, the blowers,
Right.
the mowers. Really, 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 the technology coming a long, long way in terms of battery life,
Right.
power,
Right.
operation of those things. There's a lot of that stuff on sale this weekend, folks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if dad's into any of that stuff, there's some really great stuff out there. So
All right, so Roof RX, we need to do a storm. No, it's time to wrap it up. So Roof RX, inspect, maintain, and
that's it. Everybody knows where we're
and
at.
repair.
That's the time of year we're
Okay,
at.
Dad's wisdom. We have two of them today.
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you the one my dad gave me is you can't fix stupid, son.
Right.
And Scotty has kind of taken that and he's built his own saying that he says it's if you're stupid for a long time, Dad. So and I think it might have been that he was telling me that. So
Could have been.
yeah.
Could have been. Well, thank you, folks, for listening today. This has been episode 222 of Home Repair McRoof Style on the McRoof Radio Network. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. He's restoration specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCullum. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there.
Happy Father's Day and have a great week.
We'll see you next one.